Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another Scale Riders podcast episode. This is number 205. I'm your host, 65 Locs. Currently driving right now for this intro. But welcome back to the podcast. We're going to start things off with some words by Daniel Valencia, skilled high-level model builder from Southern California. He had created a video for his YouTube channel, Scale Freaks. You guys might want to check that out and subscribe. And he had some really cool insight and input that he had gathered from research, regarding model building, and the effects that it has with our brains and stuff like that. So it's really neat. So I'm going to start things off with his clip here. He was nice enough to share his audio with us, and we're going to be playing that here on the podcast. So I hope you guys enjoy that. And after that, we have some audio clips from Brando Commando, an update as to what he's been up to lately. And, I'll finish things off at the end. So I hope you guys enjoy this one. All right, take care. Keep on building.
What's up, everyone? This is Daniel Valencia with Scale Freaks. Welcome back to my channel. I am not bringing you a build video this time. However, I would really like to talk about this amazing hobby and the benefits and great impact in the human brain. As I was going through all my builds and thinking about the time invested into scale modeling and all this crap that we do, I was wondering, what am I getting as benefits other than the satisfaction of having little pieces of plastics that look like something in real life? I decided to dig a bit deeper into what really we are accomplishing when we sit and decide to build all these models. I was able to compile a bunch of related studies, articles, and activity reviews related to the activities involved in scale modeling. Here are some of the great advantages that I found and hope you enjoy. Today I wanted to talk about a hobby that not only provides hours of enjoyment, but also many cognitive benefits: scale modeling. Scale modeling involves creative miniature models of objects, very often built from scratch, using various materials, tools, and other utensils to create these amazing miniatures. This hobby not only provides a sense of accomplishment and creativity, but it also has a number of amazing cognitive benefits. Let's start with focus and concentration. One of the biggest benefits of scale modeling is the improvement of focus and concentration in the human brain. The precise and detailed work required for scale modeling helps train the brain to focus for longer periods of time. Scale modeling also leads to improved concentration and attention to detail in other areas of life. Number 2, problem solving. Another benefit of scale modeling is improved problem solving skills. We all know these are extremely useful in our daily lives. Modeling often requires creative problem solving skills, such as figuring out how to construct complex parts or how to fix our mistakes. This type of problem solving helps strengthen cognitive abilities and can be applied to other areas of life. Dexterity and motor skills. Scale modeling also improves dexterity and motor skills. The fine motor movements required for modeling, such as painting, gluing, and cutting, help improve hand and eye coordination and dexterity. This can also help with other tasks that require precise movements, such as typing, using a mouse, and many other activities in your lives. Patience and persistence. We all know we are amazing at that. Finally, scale modeling can also improve persistence and patience. Modeling often involves long-term projects that can take several hours, days, or even months to complete. This helps develop persistence, as well as patience. As modelers, we must wait for glue and paint to dry, and for intricate parts to be completed. That managing all those small PE parts or whatever other smaller parts and creating all these ways of manufacturing our own little scale masterpieces or works of art takes a lot of time to complete. A topic that I believe is extremely important for most of us is based on the cognitive degenerative disease Alzheimer. I would like to share my findings on some of these issues. Alzheimer's disease is a progressive form of dementia that affects memory, thinking, and behavior. While there is no cure for Alzheimer, there are several activities that have been shown to potentially delay the progression of cognitive decline and improve brain function. Number one, physical exercise. We all know that scale modeling does not promote any physical exercise other than standing parts. So I invite you on this video to also include at least 1 hour of physical exercise on your daily activities. Number two, mental exercise. The second activity that can help is mental exercise. Engaging in mental stimulating activities such as puzzles, reading, and writing can help maintain brain function and potentially delay cognitive decline. This can also include activities like learning a new skill or language. Scale model is extremely saturated with various mental exercises as we previously learned. Number three, social engagement. The third activity that can help is social engagement. Staying socially active and connected with others can help maintain brain function and potentially delay cognitive decline. This can be anything from meeting friends for coffee to volunteering, joining a social club, etc. There is no better description than scale modelers participating within each other at other build meetings, local or general scale modeling shows. Number four, a healthy diet. We all know that a healthy diet will work on many of our excellent health aspects. Number five, sleeping. The fifth activity that can help is to get good sleep. Getting enough sleep is important for the overall health, including brain health. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night to help keep your brain functions at its best. Number six, stress management. The sixth activity that can help is stress management. Managing stress through relaxation techniques such as meditation, deep breathing, and yoga can help maintain brain function and potentially cognitive decline. Also, as we learned before, scale modeling is very relaxing for most of us. Continuing education. Finally, continuing education can also help maintain brain function and potentially delay cognitive decline. Learning new skills or taking courses can help keep your brain active and engaged. What better skills than learning new ways of finding ways to paint, new activities related to scale modeling. We're always experimenting with new techniques, going on YouTube and finding better ways to implement and improve our scale modeling. So it is important to note that these activities have not been specifically proven to cure Alzheimer's disease, but rather to potentially delay the progression of cognitive decline. Further research is needed to fully understand the impact of these activities on individuals with Alzheimer's. If you or a loved one is concerned about memory loss or cognitive decline, it is important to speak with a healthcare professional for a proper evaluation and treatment plan. While research suggests that scale modeling can have several benefits for the brain, the extent to which it affects brain function can vary between individuals, and many depend on several factors such as frequency and duration of modeling. Overall health and personal interest is also another factor. Further research is needed to fully understand the impact of scale modeling in the brain. There has been limited research specifically on the impact of scale modeling in the brain. However, there have been several studies on related activities, such as fine motor control, visual spatial awareness, and problem-solving skills, which are also involved in scale modeling. Some of the institutions that have conducted research in these areas include Harvard Medical School, University of Cambridge, University of California, Los Angeles, or UCLA, the National Institute of Mental Health, Max Planck Institute of Human Development, National Institute on Aging, University of Michigan, National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Strokes. These are just a few institutions that have conducted research in related areas and does not necessarily reflect specifically on scale modeling of the brain, but the research is needed to fully understand the impact of modeling on the brain. So as you can see, scale modeling not only provides a fun hobby, but also many cognitive benefits, including improved focus and concentration, problem-solving skills, dexterity and motion skills, and persistence and overall patience. Whether you are a seasoned modeler or a beginner, there's never been a better time to get into this fascinating hobby. Thank you for watching, and I hope you found this information helpful. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I will do my best to respond. Don't forget to like, subscribe for more great content, but overall, if you have any loved one or simply would like to provide value amongst your friends or your community, please share this video and help someone. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.
What's up, everybody? Brando Commando here. Checking in. What's been going on and what's to come. Started the year off with a plan to paint everything this year red and or black and maybe some other highlighted colors as well, so it doesn't get too boring or bland in a sense, because you got to keep it balanced there, but mostly red and black. And I started off with a snowmobile from the Jeep Honcho kit, and I painted it red and just got that done and out of the way. Actually, I had to strip it now that I think about it. Go figure, huh? I put, rattle can enamel paint, and I put some Tamiya clear coat over it, which I guess is okay if you wait for it to cure really well, but I didn't. So I waited maybe a day or so, and it's been cold too. So that's okay though. It came out pretty good overall, and I'm pretty happy with it. And then moving along, I did the transport trailer from Revell. I've been wanting to do the trailer and truck combo. I've been wanting to do it for a while now, and those two kits have been excuse me, I've been sitting around for quite some time now. I guess not too long, comparatively speaking to who you're talking to, I guess. But at least for me, a good while. I don't know, about a year and a half or so. I think I've had those. Just waiting to be done. So I did the trailer first. Let's see, it's a pretty good kit. There's some pretty savage cast lines in it. You may see, maybe you won't. I don't know if it varies from kit to kit. I think it's the older the molds are, the worse they get. I don't know. Still learning, but they're pretty bad. I tried to get most of them out. I didn't get them all out, but it's just, I didn't want to go too crazy with prepping that. There's just so many edges. There's so many sides to all those side rails, those side frame rails. So, but I try to keep a balance there. I don't want to spend 2 weeks prepping it, and I also didn't want to leave those lines on. So I just try to take them down a bit. Let's see, I did the frame rails, red, and the side frame rails black, and then all the platforms where you drive on the diamond plate, all that's like steel, and then flat cleared, and then I glossed the other the frame parts. So it came out pretty good. Minor details that it needs. The hardest part of that kit was, and I was concerned about it from the beginning when it was getting all the way to those pneumatic lines that you have to put in at the end. Some of you might have the kit know that it comes with a long strand of rubber hose, and it's really easy to work with, but just routing all that stuff with the directions, which seem at first, when you first look at those directions on that kit, you'll notice that it seems super confusing. Possibly, I know it did for me, looking at where all those pneumatic lines go. But after just studying those instructions there, and then just working through the kit and just keeping my eye on it as I go, just flipping through and going to the end there and checking those out. And as I built the trailer, seeing where things may go. So it went well all the way up to those. So there are these, what do they call them? Dang. They're basically just little boxes that have there's basically eight ports coming out of these little valve boxes, if you will, I think, where you would put those lines, but I didn't use those. I just attached them directly to the ones beneath. I used the ones that go on the bottom, and then I just put those lines directly onto the pneumatic cylinders. I didn't use those routing ports, if you will. I forget the exact term for them, but anyways, there's ways to kind of, I just did that to kind of make it look neater, I think, in a sense, and it will be more fragile that way, the way I did it, but at the end of the day, I think it looks a little bit better. So those really set it off, as well as the chains that go on there that you would essentially wrap around the wheels if you're to load cars on those trailers. So it looks pretty cool. Then I did the Peterbilt 359 to drag it along, and that went well as well. Trying to think of, I didn't do too much as far as detail goes. I didn't really go too crazy as far as trying to make those look really, really, really good. Just the truck's so boxy, and I did try to give it like a little wet sand with that clear coat that I use, and it just wasn't working out. All those rivets, I left all the rivets on the truck, so I had to do a lot of touching up before my final coat. But anyways, it turned out okay. It's just a semi truck, so I did add a few minor details. The windshield has the windshield wipers molded into the glass, which I I think is ridiculous. I tried painting them, and I know I could have got it done, but I just wasn't feeling it at the moment. And I thought, well, I have this red transparent polystyrene. I have the various colors in that little packet some of you may know of, and I use pieces of that to just put some red windows in it. And it's a lot of red and black for sure. It's really in your face kind of a thing, kind of a presentation there. But I was just trying to start the year off with a bang there, so I think mission accomplished. And see what else on details. I added some decals from a 37 Lindbergh Ford kit. I think that's where they came out of. They're like a pinstripe in a sense, just like the real wafty, almost gosh, I don't know how you would explain it. Sorry, guys. But anyways, you'll see if you check it out on my Instagram page, that red and black Peterbilt. I added some red details from a decal sheet there on the doors and in the rear sleeper on the back there. And then, I also chopped out the, how could I forget? I cut out the molded grill from the front grill shroud there on the front of the hood, and excuse me, I put some steel mesh in its place. That turned out really nice. Also added some chain on the front bumper to sort of go with the chain work that I did on a Peterbilt wrecker a couple years ago, and also the chains that are on the trailer there. So otherwise, let's see, that kit that went together really well. I have to give that kit credit. Both of them do go together really, really, really well. So that was easy going. Just a lot of cleanup, a lot of cleanup overall, a lot of prep work. So that's why it's nice to have moved on to this next project, which I'll get to. But I'm trying to think if there's any other real major details. I use little red gems for the roof lights. I cut the lights off that come casted in the roof light parts there. There's 5 of them, and the roof markers, and I went ahead and threw some red gems in its place. Those look really nice there. Shout out to Ryan Kieser. He's the one who threw that idea out there. First time I ever saw it. You can get like the white ones, the red ones. I don't know if they have yellow. That'd be cool. But there's different sizes you can get in little packs from Hobby Lobby. So those worked out. That's about it. Overall, I'm pretty happy with that. What I'd like to do with the truck and trailer combo is take it to shows and load it up and just kind of have that as my presentation there, and not have to go crazy with space and taking table space and stuff. So I tend to take a lot of builds, so I'd like to just break it down to that truck and trailer and just my top builds, whether they're red and black or not, So moving along, if I think of anything else on that, I'll come back to it. So don't mark me as done on that one. So just how my brain works. See, we got the Ken Block tribute build off, hosted dually by the Model Car build off and Now or Never build off. It's a separate page, so if you guys haven't followed it yet, go check it out. It's gotten some pretty good highlighting out there, I'd say, overall. So check it out. There's some cool builds coming along, and it's a 6-month build off. It ends in, June or July. Don't mark my words on that one either. But it started I think we started at beginning of, January. So July. July. June. Having a hard time here counting. Anyways, I'm working on an Aoshima Toyota 86, the Rocket Bunny edition. Gretty and Rocket Bunny edition there, it says on the box. I got that there from you, Edgar, the Scale Rider store. It was the last one in stock. Also, fun fact. So I got my hands on that. Great price. I couldn't pass it up. I got that, 3-4 months ago, and I didn't know what I'd use it for, but sure enough, for this theme, it seems to work out perfectly. It's, fun little race car. So Ken Block approved, hopefully. I did a nice wild paint job to it here. It was pretty simple, though. It might look, difficult to some, but it was really easy. What I did was, the body comes casted in red. I primed it in gray, then I based it in silver and painted it fire red by Vallejo, which turned out really brick red looking. So I covered it in a few more reds, and I went from front to back when I did that. So on the sides, I went with one red down low, and then up on the doors a little higher, another red, and then as I went higher and higher into the middle of the vehicle, I went with different shades of red. And you may or may not see it. I can kind of see it now. It's coming to light more as I look at the car more. But it turned out pretty cool. Let's see. What did I do there? I got all the red on. Sorry, I had a little brain fart there. I laid a bunch of tape out on this tinted plexiglass, the 1-inch Tamiya tape. Laid out like 3 strips, maybe 8 to 10 inches long overall is what I used. If anyone's wondering how much tape I used, about 8 inches worth of 8x1, 3 strips of that. So 24 by 1 inches of Tamiya tape. And then I took a ruler, which I could have used my cutting mat, but I didn't. I just laid that tape down, put a ruler down. I just wanted to kind of test myself and see how straight I could get those. And I think mission accomplished. All those little rectangles turn out pretty uniform as far as their specific size goes. So cut those up, a bunch of different sizes, horizontally and then vertically. And then I just started laying them down on the car. I started on each side, and basically the middle of the door, up higher in the middle on each side. I know I did it on each side differently. Started one up high towards the window, one down in the middle. And I just started laying them out from there. And I wanted it to make the paint look like a 50-50, almost maybe a 60-40 with the red and black. So I do think I have a little bit more red than black, but it's kind of a 50-50 there. And it just looks like a bunch of blocks. I painted it black over the tape, peeled it all back, and then you just get this block effect. It's real easy, just very time consuming is all. So Since then, I laid all the decals down from the kit that come with it. Not all of them, but a good portion of them are on the car. And I went over the whole body here today with some semi-gloss clear Tamiya. It looks really nice, actually. I did a little poll on my stories there and asked you guys if you thought flat, semi-gloss, or gloss should apply. And most people voted gloss. The least amount of people voted flat. So I'm with the people in the middle there. And it looks real nice. I'll post some photos here. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. Really, really happy with the fitment. A few times I've worked on these long boxes here, these Tamiya's or Aoshima kits, man, can't get over the quality of the kits overall. It's amazing, really. But I also like a good challenge, so it's good to work on, one of the four at any given time. I say one of the four is in Tamiya, Aoshima, Revell, or AMT. They're all good in their own way. So, but anyways, let's see. Moving on. For the first time, I accomplished laying down some carbon fiber on a hood. I've done it once. I accomplished getting some on that last yellow Integra I did. I put some on one of the spoilers, some yellow carbon. But this time I threw some black carbon down on the hood of this car, and I got it first try, which was nice. I got some tips and tricks from Mike, and of course all the other stuff I've seen on Instagram, especially Arif and some other guys out there. They're just absolutely do mind-blowing work with carbon. I just can't get over the skills that are out there with the carbon work. It's just amazing. So, but I've had no luck, and but finally I got this one wrapped. I have some imperfections. I do. I'm gonna clear this. I put some candy red over this carbon hood. So the first trial was it was too dark, and then I'd done it again here, and I stripped it with windshield washer fluid and a paper towel, and I've laid down some more here. I was able to save the carbon and remove that candy paint. Comes off real easy. And I'm gonna clear this though and see how it looks. And if it isn't great, I'll probably just throw this in the bath, the brake fluid bath, and strip it back down to plastic, start over, and see if I can't try again, and then get my imperfections out of my carbon work, because they're very minor, but I might be able to bury them in clear. We'll see. So it's on the edges. So just at least I feel pretty accomplished getting that done though. So pretty good stuff. So I think that's about it. I haven't worked on any other part of the car except the body. I'm really trying to focus on that because it's a curbside, and whenever I do a curbside, I really try to make sure that the body looks at least halfway appealing. So put a little bit more work into them. So yeah, this will be a curbside build, if anyone's wondering. It does have the option to put a engine in it, I can see. So if anyone's wondering, great kit. So I'm going to use the kit wheels, I believe. We'll see. I have a plethora of resin wheels, and we'll see. I'll do some mock-ups and go from there. But this car wants the camber, it looks like. You can see on the box, and yeah, so we'll see what I've got. So I haven't really dug into any part of the kit, otherwise just the body. Typically I'll prep all the parts, take them all off the sprue, and do kind of an assembly line type thing. But this time, just focusing on the body. That's about it there. We'll see where it goes. I have since started recording this, checked out the hood that I've laid the red candy on the carbon, and it's too dark, so we'll see what I do. I'm not sure what to do here. It's cleared now. It looks really nice. It's just too dark of a red, but that's okay. Gotta just trial and error it sometimes. So, but yeah, moving on into the rest of the year, I'll end with this. I don't have much planned. I typically do 12 to 14 builds a year. I'm trying to shorten that up. I'm already into number 4, so I don't know. We'll see. I'm trying to slow down, guys. I promise. I don't know. I I get in the zone and I just go. So just move. Let's see. I have some duo build-offs planned, 2 with Mike Northwind and 1 with James Ferris Lot. James and I are doing a Mini Cooper. I'm doing a Revell. I think he's doing the same kit. I don't know if his is from another manufacturer or not. But we're doing some Mini Coopers, and Mike and I are doing the Civic Type R from Fujimi, the hatchback, and the RSX from Fujimi. Also the Integra DC5, I believe. And then I'll be trying to bang out a Kawasaki Ninja, just in memory of the one I made when I was a youngster. I do remember putting one of those together. I'm pretty sure it's not the same kit. I believe this is a way newer version of the bike, but I'm really excited to do that. And then I have a commission that's been lingering. I've been trying to find the courage to do this. The Ranchero, I have 2 Ranchero 1961 Fords to merge and make a 4-door out of for somebody. Ranchero Crew Cab is his tag there. If you want to see what he's doing with his 1-to-1, I'm going to be trying to match that. He's right in the midst of the build there, but I'm it's like, who should finish first? So I don't know. I'd like him to finish first so I could use his real car as a reference there, but I don't know, maybe you can use the 125 as a reference. But I know the color scheme he wants, and it'll also have red. It'll be red and white, so I'll be throwing that together as well. I believe I can do that now, especially after doing the little bit of fabricating that I did with the wedge hauler recently. So I think I can pull that off. And then lastly, I have for the end of the year set either or a 66 Chevy Impala or a 65 Chevy Impala, one of the two, for just to do a lowrider. So we'll see, but not a lot planned. And then this, the 143 Focus that I've just had lingering there a little bit too. I usually don't have too much sitting on the side, but that's something I need to get done as well. And I also have this Lindbergh hopper that I want to paint the body on. So it's like a teal color. So I'm gonna take it down and give it a new paint job there. It looks kind of bland. So well, that's about it, guys. I will cut this loose. Sorry about all the ums and uhs. I envy those who have that under control. Jeez, it's quite the battle. But thanks for having me again, Edgar. It's always an honor. Congrats on hitting the 200 mark and surpassing it in podcast land. That's great on all your episodes there, man. Good stuff there. Thanks for doing what you do. And yeah, that's it, guys. Take care out there and build on.
So as you guys know, we got the ModelFest this Sunday, man. This Sunday. So if you guys are listening to this right now, it's probably already Sunday, or we're a day away from Sunday. But it's a model car event that takes place in Ventura at the Ventura County Fairgrounds. This will be my 3rd time vending there. Very excited for this one. I wanted to kind of take it easy. I wasn't gonna I didn't book any guests or anybody for this week, just because of the timing with everything. I got to get ready for the show. There's a lot of things I needed to sort out, printing out labels, bags, like putting the Scale Rider stamp on each one of these little bags as well, and just kind of gathering up my stickers, tablecloth. The thing that always holds me up every time before a show is what to bring. What to bring is always a question, because you want to switch it up. You want to bring different stuff to make it exciting, but then again, you also want to bring some classics, some things that customers are looking for, things they want to re-up on. And at the same time, you got to consider the space. How much space do I have on this table? Because you do want to fill up the table with stuff, just enough to be able to display everything. And it's one of those things. It's like Tetris game at that moment, you know, the way you gotta section everything. I like to section my things as like, all right, this is where we have like tools with materials, this is accessories. Over here on this end we have model kits with wheels, you know, things of that sort. But not in every show I'm going to be bringing everything collectively. You know, there's some where I'm going to bring paint, and then there's some where I'm not going to bring any paint. You know, the same with the kits. I'm going to bring the kits, and then there's times I'm not going to bring the kits. I'm going to bring other things. It just really depends on the show. It's you kind of have to read the crowd, and you have to read like the response on things of how they did. You have to pay attention to all that stuff, because I have brought in items, kits to shows where, you know, not even a single item from that category would even move. So it's almost like, why even bring it, you know? A lot of it's available online, so it's not like I'm hiding it from anyone from getting it. They could still get it online from my website. But they're in person, you know, like I was saying, like you always got these the classics, the items that people are always looking for, or, you know, things that it doesn't hurt to restock, it doesn't hurt to stock up on, because you're always going to end up using it down the road. And at the same time, while you're there in person getting it, I mean, you are going to save on shipping and things like that. So that always helps as well, for those that want to get like a bunch of stuff. But yeah, I'm finishing things up. I mean, I'm pretty much going to be done by the time you're listening to this now, you know. And I hope to see you there. If you guys make out to the area, come through, say what's up, come kick it, things like that, you know. All right, guys, I'm back. So right now it's just starting to rain. I'm just chilling in the car. You might hear it in the background. My thoughts for this weekend. Very excited. Hopefully I could get some sleep, because then I got to wake up early morning, bust that mission, load up the car, be on my way to the city of Ventura and get all set up. One of my homies, Brando, will be there with me. He was there at the NNL show. He'll be out there with me, helping me out, you know, getting things all sorted out. Pretty much done at this point with all the stuff that I'm going to be taking. So yeah, I'm just like looking forward to it. At the same time, I'm going to see about, you know, stepping away for a bit to check out the tables as well, just to see what models are out there. I want to get some photographs and hopefully some video content. So, you know, hopefully I could just walk around and do a lap and all that. And it should be fun. It ends at like 3 p.m. that day, you know. And then on a side note, we do have product coming in as well next week. It's going to be pretty much Fujimi Models Week. So next week we have a shipment of Fujimi models rolling through, coming out, that I'm very excited about. Some kits that are going to be first time having them in the store, and others, there's like maybe a couple that are like restocks, but the rest, for a lot of those, they're new to the store, they're new additions. So please look at the pre-orders on the website. I listed them as a pre-order because they're already en route and they're in the States, so I know that I'm gonna be receiving those next week. So, you know, before I had talked about the pre-orders from Aoshima, about, you know, just having issues of the delays, and it had nothing to do with them, and it had nothing to do with the distributor. It's just delays that are out of everybody's control. So, you know, I already talked about, I'm not committing to those. I'm going to pre-order the items, but I'm just not committing as far as like letting them be available to my customers right away until I know they're in the States and basically going to arrive within a week. That's going to be the only way I'm going to be doing that. So if you do see something that's listed as a pre-order, that, and you see that button, that pretty much is letting you know that you can get it and it's going to be arriving within a week. So I'm psyched about those ones coming in. Yeah, earlier this week we did receive some Aoshima product, a couple of Hasegawa kits as well. and a lot of wheels. We've been getting in a lot of Aoshima wheels. Right now we have a really big extensive collection of Aoshima wheels. What else came in? I mean, even we had products from Zoom On Model that came in as well. So future restocks, future items that are going to be coming in is going to be items from Mr. Model that will be coming in. We also just added SK decals. We're going to be getting some of their items as well for like the R35s. Those liveries look amazing. We're also going to be a new, well, it's new to our store, but they've been around, Studio 27, another company from Japan. They make some really nice decals. They also do some photo etch parts, and as I was looking through their catalogs, they also offer some resin kits as well. So I'm gonna keep on digging through their stuff and make my selections on items and get that stuff in. If you guys are looking for anything in particular from Studio 27, please send me a DM or email, info@scaleriders.com, so this way I can look into, see if they have on hand and available to get into the store. So a big one too that just came in, decals from Skeleton, based out of Texas. He started his own brand of waterslide decals, and he was selling them through his website. And I had reached out to him regarding offering those decals for this upcoming show, the ModelFest. So the opportunity presented itself as to carrying his stuff on the website as well. So something like that I'm definitely keen and down to do. So I acquired some of his waterslide decals. I have them in stock, in store, available, and shipping. So in case if you're looking for any of his waterslide decals, I do have them available on the website as well. And then for the month of March, there's going to be 1 week where the website, we will not be shipping anything for 1 week. The website will be up and running, so you will be able to make selections and purchase items. But I will be noting the dates. It's going to be like in the middle of March, where I'll be letting you guys know as far as the week that we will not be shipping. So I'll give more info on that later as we get closer to future podcasts. And I'm going to be promoting it, so this way people know. So if there's anything in particular you're looking for, I would highly recommend to try to like lock in an order before the date. So I'm gonna set a date when would be like the last drop off day and time before that week, and then after that, once that week passes, then it'll be just continuously just shipping on the shipping dates that we ship items out. But just a heads up, just letting you guys know now, so this way you kind of know as we get closer to that date. But yeah, Sunday, it's gonna be fun. I wish I could take everybody along to check it out. And for those that are in the area and are going to be coming out, thank you, and I hope to see you there. Model kits, I haven't been building anything lately. The schedule's quite changed for a bit right now, and I want to say it's probably because of I had the upcoming holiday with Valentine's at work, and part of it had to do with rest and getting my sleep. There'd be nights where everyone's asleep by like 9, and then I'd still stay up till like midnight, sometimes 1 a.m. and do whatever I gotta do, whether it was packing orders or working on a model or just hanging out. But I would stay up late, and then the next day in the mornings I'd wake up feeling very tired and just I don't know, kind of out of it, like a zombie. So I started to think to myself, like, how long is this gonna last? Like, I need to have energy. I need to be, focused and everything. If I got all these things going on, how's this gonna work? I gotta, if I'm gonna keep the machine running, I for sure I gotta keep it fueled, but it also needs its rest. So then I started to kind of think to myself, all right, I think my plan's gonna be to just start sleeping early. like 9 p.m. Just call it a night, go to sleep, and then just wake up at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. And I started doing that for like a couple weeks, and man, I tell you, like, I felt very energetic. That feeling I was feeling before went away. I just felt like I had so much energy, and just pumped to start my day because of that rest. And I mean, people always talk about sleep, that it's an important thing and all, and I do believe in that. It's just I wasn't being responsible as to doing it. So I started kind of doing this regimen where I was like, all right, I'm gonna sleep at 9, wake up early. As soon as I wake up, get the little one ready for daycare. Once she's off to daycare, I got that early morning to pack my orders. Orders are packed. If there's anything else that comes in before I head out the door, I might be able to squeeze in a couple more orders to pack and ship, and then go drop those off, and then continue on the day with work. Once it's 4 p.m., then business is done. There's no more packing orders. There's no more like being on the internet, being on my computer. It's family time. Once I pick up my daughter from daycare, that's it. It's all just family time. Kick it with the fam, and just kick it, because the baby's growing, and so yeah, like I'm saying, the baby's growing right in front of my eyes, and I just got to make sure that I'm there for all those moments, because later I'm going to be looking back at photos and being like, oh man, but this way, I have good memory, documented everything every time I get spend time with her. So it's been cool. But besides that, though, with model building, I haven't really had a chance to build anything, but I have been, slowly picking things up as far as like collecting items for builds. I've always appreciated how people do that. They collectively get wheels, they get, 3D parts, wide body kits, trans kits, and all these things from all these different companies that are out there. So, since I'm not building, I just decided, I better start looking into what I need for these particular models that I have. And, what's available right now is might as well go and support other companies that are producing these items, and make sure to pick that up now and get it, and just have it ready for that day when I decide to open up that project and get started on it. So one of the purchases I recently did was with White Chocolate 124, based out of Spain. He has a lot of really neat items on his website. So on his website, I ended up picking up some exterior parts for a Civic. One of them being a Boom-X roof spoiler, also a spoon lip spoiler, and a OEM lip spoiler. So those are 3 exterior parts. There was also some wheels, like a couple of wheel sets that I went ahead and got from him as well, along with the some tires. Decided to go with the meaty size Mercedes-Benz 190E 2.3 16V OEM kit. Well, it's more of the trans kit. So that one there, I've never built a Mercedes before. I've always admired the cars, but when I see the kind of parts and the enhancements that he does for the models, I was like, dude, like that looks so rad. Like I'm sold just from seeing the photos, totally sold. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and get this trans kit too. I really don't know, when or what's gonna go down if I'm gonna do that, but I was just like, I gotta get it. And it looks like the trans kit is for a Italy kit, and I know those. I know I could get those. They are available right now, so I was like, if in the future or whatever. And then the wheels, I mean, damn, I wish I had the receipt in front of me of what I got. But I'm kind of the style I'm going for those wheels is more for the Civic. I'm still, like drooling over the Kanju style cars, the Civics and all that. So that's kind of more of that style I'd want to go with that there. There's also an engine that I just acquired that arrived today, and I got this from Iceman Collections. He offers different types of engines, kits as well, wheels, like different types of items on his site. And I was just kind of looking around, and I happened to notice a Nissan RB26 engine, and I was like, that looks pretty cool. I know a lot of these like Aoshima cars are more curbside. They don't have an engine, and I just decided, you know what? Let me get one. Hopefully, I could fit it in one of these cars and go from there. I mean, when it's a trip, because you see how far people go with it, with these builds, and especially with the engine detail, it gets insane. It gets super, super crazy. That not that it discourages you, but you go, God damn, like, man, if he's doing that on that level, that's years and years of work right there. Like, I wonder how long it's gonna take me to get to that point, But at some point we do get there, But you got to get started. You got to get started at some point. So the engine, I for sure was like, yo, I gotta get that. I got to get that engine, And now I have it. It arrived. It didn't take too long. Thank you, Iceman. So make sure you guys also check out his site, Iceman Collections. There's also some trans kits that I ordered. I think it's been a week now. I don't know, but or 2 weeks. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But this is some parts that are coming from C1 Models all the way in the UK. I know he's created a lot of things, and he's provided a lot of parts and things for the community. And I was like, looking through his site, and one of the items that caught my eye right off the bat was the wide body Honda Civic trans kit. And I was like, yo, like, I need to get that, So I picked that up, and a couple other things too from the website that I was just like amazed at some of the stuff he does. So I'm looking forward to getting that stuff in the future and just posting about it, and just that excitement of like being able to mock this stuff up, with your models and stuff like that. It's really neat. So there's all these like cool little things out there that people are creating, and I mean, things just keep evolving. Obviously, there's people that are offering files that you can, they're already designed, they're ready to go, and you just have to make the purchase, and you could download and print at any moment that you want. That's like super cool with that stuff that's coming out. I know, for example, like Slowly Models designing wheels and just, making it available on his page on Colts 3D. It's super neat. And a lot of other people too. Black Box and others are making it available. And I mean, this does help for those that do have the printer handy. They're ready to go and have that experience, of just doing that whole process. But there's also, I feel like there's another side of the community too, like myself, that don't have a printer, and we're more of like, I just want to buy it already kind of made and done, so this way I can go right ahead and use it. And I mean, obviously each thing has like its pros and cons, but for the moment being, if I have to just buy it, then it is what it is, and just one way or another, kind of get that look, that feel for what you have for your kit. And I don't know if there's any other like companies or things out there that you guys recommend. Let me know. I'm always interested in looking at, whether it's like resin, trans kits, 3D printed, stuff like that. I'm always kind of fond of like just looking at the stuff and seeing like what's out there that's being offered, because I know a lot of this stuff too, it's like quite limited as well. Some of it will be reproduced, but some of it won't. I must be like, once it's done, it's done. It could be quite limited. So it just kind of varies on that part. But if I'm not currently building at the moment, I'm jumping into the other hobby, which is collecting, gathering up all that stuff. So, I mean, when I look at my stash now, I got all my models, there's a lot of excitement. Like, there's all these models I look at now that I go, man, I can't wait to get to this one. Or, oh, dude, this one, I want to do this. Like, and that's the fun part right there. Like, thinking about the future, thinking about what ideas and just things I want to bring to that is what makes me happy. And it just brings excitement. So, setting those models aside, it's a good feeling, and it sucks when you have some models that you're kind of just dreading to even open up the box, just because you started it, you got it somewhere, and then you're stuck, or you can't get over that hump, or maybe it's just a cursed kit and you can't get over it. But since you've invested so much time and money into it, you kind of don't want to give it up. You're still hanging on to it. You're still like just seeing if maybe something will change and you could come back to it and just, do it up. But it's just not happening, and I feel like sometimes you just got to walk away. You got to sell it or give it away or trade it, something. Let someone else have at it, and maybe they could bring it to life. I've had conversations with Cam with Kiwi Hobbies, and I've noticed through the years from knowing him, there's periods of times where he makes a lot of these amazing builds, and eventually he sells them. But then again, there's also like a back catalog of just, whether it's loose parts, extra parts, or whatever that he makes available for people to buy, which is really neat. And at the same time, it's like in with the new, out with the old, and then later that new. I mean, not that it's that old, it's still kind of current. It goes, and it's kind of cool. And I appreciate that he keeps that like fresh mind of like new stuff coming in, but he's actually building it and getting it out. And he's channeling that artistry of him through his builds. And he's just constantly, every build's different things. And it's just at this like high level builds at a fast rate of speed. That's kind of like crazy, that I'm like, man, I can't keep up with that. That's nuts. But because of that, it's helped me unload on some stuff too that was holding me back. Like, there's certain builds that were just holding me back that I was like, nah, I could never sell this, or I don't want to sell this, And it's gotten to the point where I'm like, nope, this is done. I'm not hanging on to this. I don't want to pursue this anymore on this build. Like, those ideas and whatever that was there for that, it's done. Like, it died. It's almost, like it died pretty much. Like, I'm on to something else now. And it's just time to move on, And it's going to happen, things like that are going to happen here and there. But there are going to be some builds that you're going to hold on to, that you go, nah, this I got to see this to the end. This isn't going anywhere, because this right here, like, this is pretty cool and exciting. So, so for the time being, I mean, every time I open up my closet and I see my boxes, and I don't have that many boxes, like, I trip out how many I used to have back in the day compared to now. And it just feels a lot better having less that's in front of me, that I'm just like, all right, my mind doesn't have to go everywhere like all crazy. I could just focus on the one, and that's kind of it, and just kind of take it from there, little by little. But, how about you guys? How many, I guess, how many model kits you guys got in your collection? Have you been collecting for a long period of time that you just have so many kits? Is it difficult for you to sell them, trade them, give them away, or is it just more, that's kind of the hobby too, is like that collecting factor for you, is it getting overwhelming where you're running out of space? You really don't know where to like store them? Or has it gone to the point where now you have to like get a storage for them and you're like, dang, I gotta throw all these in there now? I always wonder about that. But on that note, I'll leave you guys kind of thinking about that, and keep us posted. Keep me posted on your thoughts on that. I hope you guys have a good day. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you're at the show, come say what's up. But if you can't make it, make sure to check us out on Instagram, and hope you keep you guys updated with the latest. So, all right, guys, peace out. Have a good one. Take care and be safe.